Welcome to this session called Removing the Weeds. I want to tell you a story about removing the weeds. When I was a kid, my dad, he was busy working in his garden and I was trying to help him a little bit. And then I asked him, I said, Dad, can I have my own garden? And he said, sure. And we made a little garden and he planted some vegetable seeds and we gave some fertilizer and we gave some water. And I was so excited. I've got my own garden. And that night I went to bed so satisfied with what I accomplished that day. And the next morning early, I got up and I went to look at my vegetable garden and there was nothing. It was just like yesterday. And I ran to my dad and I said, Dad, these plants aren't working. The seeds aren't growing. Something's wrong. And he laughed at me and he said, no, son, it doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a week. It may take a little bit longer. And then you will see your seeds growing. So the next day I went to look again, and the day after that I went to look again, and then I started to lose interest. And I didn't look for a number of days. And then one day I was in the garden, I think just before my dad came. And when he came, I said to him, look, my garden is growing. My seeds are growing. And he looked at it and he started to pick them all out. He pulled them out of the ground. And I said, Dad, what are you doing? You're destroying my garden. And then it said to me, no, son, these were not your seeds. These were not the plants. This is weed. And I said, what is weed? And he said to me, weed is that which grows first because they want to choke your plant. And if you don't pull them out of the ground, they're going to make sure that you don't have a good crop. And then I was excited. I said, yeah, let's pull them all out. I don't want them to be there. Now, then that day, something took hold of my heart, and I knew in my heart that it is weed in our own lives too that can bring damage. That Jesus also talked about. He said the wheat and the tares grow together. Now, what is a tare? A tare is something that looks exactly like wheat, but it has no sustenance in it. It has no food in it. It is a weed. And if we do not remove that, it can bring damage to the crop. And so it is so necessary in our own lives and those that we equip to help them think through the things that are weeds in our spiritual lives. I want to just bring 3 to your attention. The first one is the love of money. People love money because we all have the idea that money will solve our problems. And that's not true. We all know that. The second one is the fear of poverty. You see, nobody wants to be poor. And people are afraid, even children. I saw it in my own children when they were small. They said, it's mine. When they had something, it's mine. Don't take it away from them. And the same it is with young children, youth, adults. We're afraid of poverty. We're afraid that we will lose it and never gain it back. Well, Jesus said, whatever you sow, you will reap. We need to bring this to the children and the multipliers that we will be equipping. It's one more, and that is the prosperity message. It's a modern day problem within so many countries where we see evangelists or preachers that they want you to give them money because they will give you a gift of healing or whatever. And this prosperity message makes one person wealthy or rich, but it will leave people behind that are empty because those promises never came to fruition. There's a scripture verse that I love. In Proverbs 4, verse 23, it says, guard your heart above all things, for it determines the course of your life. Guard your heart. It was great talking to you. We'll see you in the next video, which is all about preparing for the harvest.